mayday, 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 mayday.
Got a report of a boat sinking with 3 people overboard.
Now sighted and positioning for a left circuit.
There, just confirm you'd like us to winch in and assist on scene.
It's releasing the tagline, and the tagline is clear of the aircraft.
Roger.
We all have very close shaves every now and again.
Every second counts.
Basically, the buck stops with us.
You have someone who's dead in front of you, all of a sudden they're alive again.
Garth Thompson, Paul Koenig and Cameron Marks. 3 men with a job like no other.
What's the phone number you're calling from?
Is the bleeding serious?
Is she breathing?
There's no breathing.
Is she conscious?
Get her on her back right now.
So we're talking about the most extreme of situations when you require a scat paramedic.
At this stage, I think the patient's whereabouts is not exactly known.
You need to stay right with her and check her breathing often.
We've been called to a remote bushland site where a young lady's fallen off a horse. Bushland site where
Below her legs.
She does have lower lumbar back pain.
she's apparently hit a wooden fence and has no feeling in the lower limbs.
No immediate landing spot at this location.
If it's a spinal incident, we don't want to end up paralysed either in a wheelchair or worse. Just confirm you'd like us to winch in and assist on scene.
518, thanks sir, that's affirmative. Affirmative.
Roger.
You never know what's going to happen today.
The patient's been found. Can you confirm? I've got the patient visual at 2 o'clock, about 400 metres. She's underneath the blanket.
Sighted and positioning for a left circuit.
But stay right next to her, okay? Don't leave her side until the ambulance officers are in there with her.
And winching out.
Once we're there, people think that everything's going to be okay, but sometimes it's just not going to be okay.
In that 30-minute window that we've got to get in there and get them out of there, we need every bit of luck and every bit of training we've got.
There's no doubt about you trusting your life with your mate.
Spring him to the top. Spin him around. Inside the aircraft. Still got that tree at 4 o'clock. It's now 40 below the rotors. The tower out to the 3 o'clock is well clear. Still got the power lines visual. Ruby's just securing the patient.
Katie, it's okay, you're going to be okay. The tingling in your legs is because you've hurt your back. I know it's scary. The main thing is you're in the air, you're on the way, and you'll be at the hospital in just a few minutes' time.
I wanted to hear that I was going to walk again.
You've got to try to temper their emotion because just when we get there, they're not out of it yet.
Coming up, it's life and death where happy endings are never guaranteed.
We're there to pick up the pieces, and sometimes you're not going to have a good outcome.
It's 4 p.m. and paramedics are responding to yet another urgent emergency.
Got reports of a motorcyclist unconscious. He's got massive head trauma.
There's no shame in admitting you've made a mistake. There's great shame in knowing you've made a mistake and not admitting it.
Information comes to you all in the wrong order. It's like archaeology. You only get a few pieces of the puzzle.
Decreased LAC, mate. Jump in, I'll get you some airway stuff happening.
The motorcyclist has massive head trauma and is just holding on.
He was crook. With the injuries he had, it was never going to be, it's going to be all right, this guy will be okay.
So this gentleman's come off a motorcycle, he's got massive head injuries, he's unconscious, and the medical team here are going to paralyse the patient and intubate the patient.
It can be a challenge to keep hold of your emotions, and you tend to want to go faster than is probably a good idea to go. You can see the urgent nature of the situation.
CO2 is good here, mate, got a good trace. The sooner we can get a tube in, which we have, the more oxygen he's getting to his brain, and the better that he'll do with that. So that's why we're here early to do that, to get him back to a trauma centre.
Up. Northern Ox, this is Helicopter Rescue 23 for a code 3 to Royal North Shore, thanks.
I mean,
dreadful. You know, you don't know how it's all going to pan out, if the guy will pull through. Hang down. How will go through surgery? What sort of condition is his brain in? You know, is it too late for him? We just don't know. Good job, mate. Yeah, well done.
A young mother, Katie Gibson, has fallen off her horse. She has spinal injuries and paramedics are now unsure if she'll ever walk again.
Okay, we'll take you inside now. I'll see you in the emergency department. Everybody there is there to look after you.
All the paramedics were talking to me and I couldn't feel my legs. I thought that I'm not going to be the mother that I wanted to be and getting right involved in my daughter's life.
It's a marathon for them. I'm just the first few seconds, really, of their recovery. It's going to take weeks or months, or sometimes it changes their life.
Yeah, she would say, thank you for giving my mummy back. Cuddles.
Thankfully, Katie was saved. She's walking again, she's a mother again. But unfortunately, things don't always go to plan.
We brought in a patient with quite severe head injuries. You do think about that person and the next day you ring up and see how they're going. I suppose you're optimistic. There's always that glimmer of hope that he's going to do okay. He passed away. I mean, I suppose it's just the way life is, you know. Accidents happen and we're there to pick up the pieces and sometimes you're not going to have a good outcome.
People don't really understand that the person's gone until you use the word dead 3 times.
I think kids are definitely the hardest to deal with.
I remember doing a resusc on a young girl, Barrel. Okay.
A 3-year-old girl has died after being crushed by falling goalposts. The toddler was watching a children's soccer game.
During that resuscitation, she had a very bad outcome. But the mother thanked us at the time. She was with us, so that's nice. So they do come out. You just got to hide them.
Once you've held a deceased child in your arms, just find a healthy one and play with it and hug it. And that seems to make it all better. And I literally stop and smell the roses. I go out of my way, and I'm sure people think I'm crazy, but that's how I cope, you know. It's nice, I smell enough horrible things to go out of my way and smell something nice occasionally.
I think we just get in and get the job done, and that's it. We don't want any accolades over it, we're just happy to do it.
I suppose you just assume that help's going to come. You don't think twice about it, you just know that somebody is going to be there to help you.
How many people come back and thank you after you've rescued them?
Oh, it's pretty uncommon. It's pretty uncommon. If you're the type of person who wasn't comfortable, that we wouldn't probably last 5 minutes. You've got to be hungry to hear the phone ring and want to go out there and make a difference.
It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's mine. I wouldn't change it for the world.